Arcanum. Looks fancy, right? Because it is fancy. Like you, we're fancy together. And you know, it's our job to sell fancy wines at not so fancy prices. That's why you love us. That's why you love us. And that's what we have here today. We have a very fancy wine at a not so fancy price. So, Arcanum, what is it? This is from the gang at Tenuta di Arceno, which we talked about their Chianti Classico a couple times in the past. This is a fabulous estate based in Chianti Classico, in the south of Chianti Classico, in the village of Castelnuovo Berardenga, the far south of Chianti Classico. We're almost to Siena. And here you have wonderful sandy clay soils, and you have a little more heat. It's a little warmer as we head south in Tuscany, so you get some richer, bolder flavors from this area of Chianti Classico. Now, the wine we're pimping today is not Chianti Classico, even though it's growing on a Chianti Classico estate. This is a classic Toscana, an IGT wine of the highest order, and this is where the story gets good. You see, Tenuta di Arceno, well, there's the boots on the ground winemaker, and then there's like the kind of like the head winemaker, the guy that oversees the whole thing. The guy that oversees the whole thing is Pierre Seillan, and Pierre Seillan, as we've talked about in these pages before, is one of the kind of greatest winemakers working on the planet, right? He is one of the super premium in-house winemakers for the Jackson family, and he produces their Verité wines, which, if you're familiar at all with Verité, they're kind of a big deal. $400, $500 a bottle, 100-point scores all the time, ad infinitum. One of the boutique, cult, iconic estates in Northern California, and have been for a couple decades. Pierre's got a wonderful touch in the winery. Sometimes that touch requires a little time. He makes classic kind of European style wines, but with a bolder fruit base. But still, some of these wines require some age. You know, if you dig into a young vintage of Verité right now, you're going to be like, this needs a couple of years. And what we discovered is the same thing with his super premium Tuscan wines. Pierre is the guy really behind the top projects at Arceno. So he's much more involved with Arcanum and Valladorna than he is maybe with some of the other day-to-day wines. So this wine is the 2012 Arceno Arcanum. How did we get this? It's perfect. Everything's perfect. The winery still had it. Simple as that. Winery still had some. And the winery made a deal. Now, what were we expecting from this wine? Well, it could be a little tight. It could be a little this. It could be that. And, you know, you taste everything. That's what we do as wine merchants. We taste everything. And when man, Trish and I stuck our faces in this glass, and it was like, damn, I get it. We get the brilliance of Pierre Seillan. It's here. It just took 12, 13 years to unravel. Beautiful. This is easy classified growth Bordeaux level stuff. Higher end classified growth Bordeaux level stuff. The base here, Cabernet Franc. 71% Cabernet Franc with a healthy dollop of Merlot, and then I think there's some either Cabernet Sauvignon or Petit Verdot in here. 80% new oak. And I think he follows kind of some of the same mojo and vibe that he does with his Verité project. Now, if you did a little reading on the 2012 Verité Le Désir, which he makes 3 wines of Verité, one's Cab-based, one's Merlot-based, one's Franc-based. The 2012 Le Désir, the Cabernet Franc-based one, was 100 points. So the dude knows how to make Cabernet Franc, without question. Now, Cabernet Franc is kind of the linchpin of this estate because of those sandy clay soils and that warmer weather. The Cabernet Franc responds very well to it here. So you can get voluptuous tannins from Cabernet Franc. You get less of the green, herbal, leafy character, and you get more of the riper, more rambunctious side of Cabernet Franc, which is quite a joy. You know, if you've had Dalla Valle Maya, if you had Verité's Le Désir with some bottle age, you know what I'm talking about. It can be very, very special wine. If you had Cheval Blanc with 10 years, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So good. The nose is all Franc, but it's rich Franc. It's perfumed deeper than like Loire Valley wines. This is bigger, bolder wine than those Loire Valley Cabernet Francs. Ideal vintage for this grape variety. Warm middle part of the year, cooled off at the end. Allowed for the Franc to maintain structure and acid, but the warmth of the middle part of the year got rid of all those pyrazines, all that kind of green leafy character you get, and instead you just get this ripe, plush palate of fruit. 13 years of bottle age. Some classic structure. It's still Tuscan, right? So that little Tuscan framework is still there. A little bit of chew, which you expect, and also is indicative of Seillan's wines. Boy, this wine just delivers. We couldn't believe how tasty it was. Long story short, 2012 vintage. Obviously great year for Arcanum. It has scores, 93 points, 94 points. Look it up. There's big numbers here. Original $100 price tag. Not too shabby for a wine of this caliber. $100 usually. Today we're rolling it out at $39.98. It's like 60% off its original retail. I don't know if we get in trouble. Figure that out later. But wow, what an opportunity here. This wine is gorgeous with a capital G. Cabernet Franc with a capital C. Arceno with a capital A. Deal with a capital D. Fun with a capital F. And Patrick begins with a capital P. Guys, you know what to do. Click now. This is going to be hot. Buy this wine. You need to buy this wine. This wine. After this video, I think you're going to like us. And if you do like us, if you get some time, click that button and subscribe. Get these in your inbox every day. Just me prattling on and using lots of capital letters like somebody else we know. Cheers.